I'm Ryan Melton from Team Flex. Today, we're going to be looking at NPC wellness class. We're going to look at a open class C that contained an overall winner, the overall winner of that event. And we're going to look at, I believe we have, 3-4 competitors in this class to better highlight for all of you watching what the judges are looking for, what the criteria is right now in wellness, and ultimately what that means for you as a wellness competitor out here trying to do your best on stage 2025, next season, whenever. That's what I do on this channel. And 75% of you are not subscribed, my viewers. Come on now. Hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of great content coming for you that's going to help you do better on stage. I promise you that. All right. So here is where we are at. This is Wellness Class C at the Florida State Champs, and we have dead center here, Carolay. She is our class winner and overall winner, right? Wellness division is all about that lower body dominance, that muscle structure that takes place in the lower body. So the glute fullness, the overall upper glute development, the quads that sweep in that front pose, and basically a lot of mass lower body. And having, still some upper body development, but having that lower body be clearly disproportionately larger, right? The bigger that you get the lower body and make sure that it's asymmetrical to what's going on up top, generally the better, because that's really what this division is about. It's the only asymmetrical women's division. So looking at Carolay here, right, we can see some good overall shoulder fullness and density to her deltoids. Wellness, just because the upper body isn't necessarily the exact focus and you want to be disproportionately larger lower body, does not mean you get to sleep on the shoulder gains. You still need to have that upper body development. And so she's got good shoulder fullness, good shoulder shape there. Her bicep and tricep is not overdone, not distracting, not detracting from her physique. And that really creates that upper piece of the hourglass shape, right? She also has a very narrow waist effect. So this V-tapered look is exactly what a wellness torso should look like. She's really accentuated that, and she's done very, very well there, keeping that, balanced structure in the torso. Now, looking lower body, a lot of muscle here, a lot of muscular density, right? Like glutes from the front. This is something I say for wellness competitors. At this point, if you want to be a wellness competitor, you need to be having those glutes from the front. And that comes purely from a lot of glute development. We can see up here too, a lot of overall upper glute development, right? Which is really key and critical in these divisions. Judges will be looking at on your physique, and for her, she really nails it. Great fullness in the lower body, the quads, everything size-wise matches very well. And her condition, right where it should be, some soft lines in the obliques, some in the legs, some down here in the glute, a little bit up top, nothing too crazy, not grainy, not striated, not shredded up, to the degree where it would score her down in this division. It is a very, very complete slam dunk wellness look for her there. Looking as we go out now, let's take a look into second place. So Niurka over here, okay? So we get a lot of similarities, but also some clear differences, right? Number one, I would say her posing. Probably change up the posing just a little bit, right? I don't give a lot of posing feedback on the videos. In fact, if you guys want that more, my viewers, if you want to hear me talk about poses a little bit more and how to tweak and adjust, I can do that. A lot of times I'm focused on physiques because really that's, what everybody's out there building. But if you want to hear more about posing, comment that, let me know. As we look at her in second place, right, a little bit more posing, like I was saying, because her shoulders could square off a little better. Because what's ended up happening here, she looks a little bit less muscular up top, not really creating as much of that, upper base of the hourglass shape, if you will, for that kind of taper in. Still great narrow waist effect, still pretty solid conditioning wise. And you can tell lower body wise, she's definitely got some good mass in the legs. You get a good sweep. You got some glutes from the front here, hands kind of covering that. Again, these are where those posing things I'm talking about may come into play, but realistically, she's got a little bit more of a depleted look to her physique, not as full, and, not really pulling through as much of that muscularity in the upper body, especially, right? Now, looking over here, third place, Maria, right? So Maria has, again, a very good overall wellness look. Everybody's going to have that at this point. Wellness is very consistently, we know what that look is going to be. For her, what I can see, good overall shoulder shape, a little bit more from the bicep and tricep here, not bad. But that can be something where if you have a little bit more bicep and tricep, it can pull away from what the delts are doing, right? A little bit more of that muscle there kind of can take away from what's going on up here. She's still got a good waist taper, overall creating that V-tapered look. Lower body-wise has some good muscle, glutes from the front. Now, for her, she looks a little bit more symmetrical to me, right? Like her muscle is more balanced upper and lower. It's more balanced like that versus having her be clearly lower body disproportionate, right? So in my opinion, she would have to probably upsize the lower body more, add some more mass to the quads, the glutes and everything, or downsize a little bit more in the upper body, which honestly the move is probably just to upscale. If you look at that, the comparison here side by side, first to second, third, what we can really see is a big difference in that lower body mass, right? So let's pop over to the back though, because we only get half the story. And if you're liking these videos, check out my free coaching trial. All right, pop over here, hang out with me. Very simple to do this. You go to teamfflex.com and I'll train you free for 7 days. I can give you feedback on your physique, tell you what you need to work on, build you training splits, work with you on your nutrition, your posing, whatever it is. I can answer any question in the world you can come up with because I'm your coach free for 7 days. You don't get charged, you don't get billed. This is a unique opportunity, exclusive access to world-class coaching, same coaching I've been delivering to my athletes for all of the years, hundreds and thousands of athletes that have been extremely successful over the years. So this is a free opportunity for you to come in here, learn, be able to take stuff with you and do better on your journey. And that's exactly why I do it. It's exactly for that purpose. And if you watch the channel, you like the channel, you're learning stuff here, get 100 times more just spending 7 days with me on my trial. So type it in, get in there. It takes 1 minute to set it up. There's literally no reason not to do it. If you watch any of my videos and you have seen me talk about this and you haven't done it, you're missing out. And if this is the first time you've seen it, don't wait to miss out. Just get in there, get your spot now, and let's get it going, okay? So let's take a look from the back now. Carolay, overall winner, class winner here, Niurka over there, and Maria. So Maria, let's just note that first. We don't have a back pose on Maria. Sometimes, again, we're just dealing with the shots that get posted, and sometimes we don't have it. We'll still be able to now go over her physique a bit there. But let's look at, first and second for now. So Carolay, such a slam dunk wellness look for her from the back, especially from NPC, right? So good shoulder shape here. Overall, that density is good. Bicep and tricep. Mostly we see tricep here. Not distracting, not pulling away from her physique. That's really key and critical. Still has that great taper. And obviously, wellness is all about lower body and the back pose. That's what we're really looking at. She has good overall upper glute fullness, overall glute density. She's pulling through that tie-in from the sheer amount of muscle that she has, right? Obviously, she's at condition, but a lot of that is coming down to the muscle there. Good hamstring hypertrophy, good, quad sweep from the back here. Like if you can see quads from the back, it's a wellness competitor. Like she has such a complete look. Conditioning is just nailed. It's got these soft lines showing that tie-in a bit, some of the hamstring, a little bit up top even. All perfect. I mean, she should just gear up for nationals and go pro at this point, right? And she probably will. Let's stay tuned. We'll see what the rest of the season brings because she's got a very slam dunk wellness look. Like it's just off the charts. A very, advanced NPC level physique. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see her go on to nationals. Now, I do always like to give everybody a little bit of feedback and things to work on, so for her, I'd say tighten up just a little bit if you're going to go for a pro card attempt and, try to add a little bit more volume overall to the lower body because that's really going to be the key. Everything shape-wise is there, just a little bit more size in the quads, a little bit more in the glutes. A little bit more overall lower body development tends to be where it's going to go. And, once you're in the pro leagues, it's exactly what you have to do anyway, right? So let's look at Niurka over here. Niurka, sorry if I'm butchering the names, Niurka. Please reach out to me and tell me how to say your guys' names if I'm saying them wrong, my bad. But let's see here. So for her, a lot of those same things. We can see good overall, shoulder shape, tapers in pretty well, wellness look, definitely lower body dominant. Not the same level of, 3D effect coming from the glutes though, right? So a little bit more probably upper glute development here, pulling through this tie-in a little more with a little tighter condition and adding a little bit more size to the hamstrings and the quads here as well, right? She's definitely got the base. She's right there in points. A lot of times first and second, that's pretty close. But it is a bigger, more different look going on over here for Carolay, right? Where she's just got a really streamlined kind of physique look, a tie-in's pulling really hard. The balance is a little bit better. And, that's really where Niurka could really improve probably on those markers there. So Maria, we don't have the back pose as we talked about. You can really tell, though, a lot of what I was saying before is still going to be relevant here, because even in just this quarter turn, we can see, everything is pretty symmetrical, right? She's very symmetrical up and down. So it's more, going like that bikini type of a symmetry look, which is unideal for wellness. So I'm sure in her back pose, we would have seen that as well. She probably does have very dialed in glutes and hams and everything else, but, she's probably going to be a little bit too balanced, a little bit more looking like, again, bikini, not going into that wellness world there. So, okay. For some reason, we already got a green line on here, but one more competitor to talk about, Sophia. She's in 4th place, okay? So let's take a look at Sophia. What we can see, overall shoulder shape, tapers in here. Everything's there. Again, for her, it's a very symmetrical look, again, where we don't have the clear lower body dominance you want to see in wellness. So more quad fullness, more glute density, more upper glute, more overall, just getting this lower body to be dominant and pronounced, right? And that's one of those things where, again, every competitor's at a different part of their journey. Sometimes you got to bring a little bit more. Sometimes you got to bring a little bit less. Sometimes you got to just, you might be getting your foot in the door. And this is, where she's at, where it's simple. You just add more muscle and, things change, things do better and better. One thing I will note too, right? A lot of competitors ask me about, skin, stretch marks, stuff like this. Well, she's on stage, she's killing it. She's doing a competition. She's doing a phenomenal job. And, she did her prep. She showed up. She did the damn thing. That's awesome. A lot of competitors have things like that, stretch marks or, skin. I get asked about that all the time. And it's really not a hindrance. It's really not something you should worry about. So, props to Sophia for showing up and bringing a great physique to stage and rocking it. That's awesome. Looking over here, okay, at her back pose. One more time, again, good shoulder shape, tapers in very well. Everything's there. She does have clearly some good lower body muscle, but, to, again, compete over here against first in this class, it's going to be more of that upper glute shape, more overall glute shape, pulling through that tie-in some more quad sweep and more hamstring. So really it's just adding more lower body muscle, which most of the time, honestly, that is wellness feedback. You're going to get that most of the time. It's crazy. Sometimes I put the most dialed in, athletes on stage and they're doing great. They're winning shows and they'll win the overall at an event and they'll still get, oh yeah, you bring the glutes up a little more. It's like, what? Crazy, right? So it's just a lot of lower body density. It's just a lot of lower body muscle in this division. And most competitors, even for Carolay, right? Like she won the overall. I would still tell her add a little bit more muscle going to nationals, things like that, trying to get a pro card. So, that is this division. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like where it's heading? Do you like the direction of this division? And, are you competing in wellness anytime? Drop it in the comments. If you want me to cover your show, let me know. Drop that in the comments. I'll hit that too. And also do the free trial. I'm telling you, it'll change your freaking life. Don't miss out. All right. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.